Hello, Patriots. Oops. Today is April 3rd, 2024. It's a Wednesday. This is day 1186 of peaceful resistance. How you doing, Patriots? I better get this in here before they yell at me. All right, there we go. Hi, Docs and Grandma. Hello, Gene Shannon, C4. Freedom. Freedom. Good to see you guys. Hi, Sherry Thomas and Nova. How you doing today? Another day in the battle. Here we are. Still standing, right? I got it, Deb. I knew it. I knew you saw it, though. I didn't have it there. Hello, Silly for Him. Trusty Mod, how are you? Nothing happens without the mods, that's for sure. You guys are awesome. Coming in every day, hearing the message of freedom, get our J6ers out of prison here. Yeah, freedom! C4. Hi, Karen Saab. So, all right, I got my watermark in. We're ready to go here. We're going to be covering Vigil number 611 from the Freedom Corner J6 Vigil in Washington, D.C. I'm not in D.C. I watch the Vigil every night on the live streams that are from that corner there. There's many live streamers there. And take notes. I'm a mod also there. I'm learning the art of modding, and it's a lot harder than it looks, that's for sure. I'm still figuring stuff out. I can do some links, but not a lot of links. I just haven't figured out how to pull links and stuff. So one of these days, we're going to have a mod class when we can all get together, Silly for Him. Hey, Stormbringer, hello. How's it going, man? Yeah, please hit that like, share button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We got to get this message out. And last night, there was a couple of newcomers in our chat last night. And I didn't get to take a whole lot of notes because we were explaining things to these people who are new to this. And I don't know if we get numb to it. We've been at this now 611 days with the Vigil. But there is... C for Freedom. It is hard. It is hard. I don't know. There's just things that I wish I knew how to do, and I can't figure them out, man. I keep trying, but slowly but surely I learn something new every day. Hi, Hilda. Good to see you. So anyways, yeah, there was some new people in the chat, and they were floored. They were floored by the emotion, the message, the shocking news of what's going on. And it was really good to have them there. And I was doing full on direct attention to that. And we kind of lose track that we've been at it for so long that there's a lot of people that haven't heard this about the J6ers yet. The mainstream media has presented this story of what J6 is, and it is totally 180 degrees from what they have been led to believe happened on J6. And all this information is coming out, trickling slowly, so slowly, ever so slowly, to the point where it looks like our government is not doing anything about it. But slowly but surely, sooner or later, these court cases find a judge that isn't totally politically motivated or biased, and the court cases are being won, one by one, in all the states of the country, Colorado, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia. There are many cases that are being won that are proving there was a rigged election in 2020. And that's where this all stems from. So last night at the Vigil, it was raining again. Man, the Freedom Corner Patriots there, the Warriors on the corner that stand every night down there, had all the canopies set up, and they did a great Vigil again last night. They started off with a prayer, a group prayer on a Zoom call. And that's always a cool deal there when you got another group that's out there praying. They pray every night where they are, and then once a week or so they do a Zoom call prayer with the Patriots on Freedom Corner, man. And to start the night off, Nicole got on the phone, and there was two things last night that were the highlights of what I thought the night was last night. And the first part was Nicole's court update, man. They spent the day in court watching a father-son team of Patriots that were at J6. They were having a bench trial with Judge Kelly, a notorious, politically motivated judge. So that means that there is no jury in this trial. It's just the judge hearing the evidence, and the judge will make the decision. But in the past, this Judge Kelly has made lots of sentences of deterrence, and that's where they give them extra amount of time just to be a deterrence to all the rest of the people, to make them an example that this is just not acceptable to stand up and express your First Amendment rights if you feel that your government should represent you and take a 10-day look at the election. I mean, that is democracy, okay? These people, lately the rhetoric in the news is that we have to defend democracy, or if Trump wins, democracy it's threatened. And all these patriots at J6 were standing for the democratic process of people voting for their representatives. And the system is that if people see something that looks, that doesn't smell right, that they're allowed to stand up and protest their government. And what was going on J6 was they were certifying that election. And there is a part of that certification where if the electors are coming in and you feel that something wasn't right with the election, that there was fraud, and there was signs of fraud all over the place. By November 4th, we all knew something happened, just because they closed down tons and tons of evidence. They closed down polling stations. They didn't count the vote for 4 or 5 days. And they were standing there to ask their representatives to take a 10-day look at this as a group, you know. And right when I think it was Ted Cruz was mentioning, like, hey, I think we should take a look, that's when the doors opened and people came into the Capitol, and that's when Capitol Police decided to evacuate all the people out of there, and that's when they started the clown show of leading, you know, people around inside the Capitol with all these film crews there ready to document it and everything. Judge Walton has his butt is in hot water for his interview with CNN. Was he the one that gave that? I saw an interview with Reggie Walton, and we're going to get into that here shortly. That was on CNN lately. That was the pompous, egotistical judge. Unbelievable, man. So these judges are getting political now, and they are coming away from their bench and going on TV and making political statements now. And that's just the ones with the J6 people. That's not the ones with all the Trump malarkey that's going on. Those judges also are stepping out from behind their bench and making political statements also. All right, I think we're back. Hey, Tina, are you, can you see anything that's going on here? All right, back. Thanks, Jerry. Don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I got bad transmission here. Hi, Cleo. Hi, Tina. All right, small water guy. Thanks for the help there, bud. Don't know what happened, man. All of a sudden, I think it was on my end on the phone here. YouTube wasn't working, Spotify wasn't working, so I restarted the phone and jumped back into this stream again. All right, cool. I don't know where I was. Let's see. Hey, Cindy. We're having technical difficulties today, Cindy. Put this here. All right. Hey, Greg Kelly. Wow, we're just having really bad network here, man. All right, so last night after Nicole's talk on the microphone right at the beginning, which was really good. If you're going to watch one thing from last night, that Nicole's talk on the courtroom fiascos that were going on in there was really good. With the McCain father and son bench trial that's going on, the bike wrecks, the deadly traffic cone. Right, okay, we're placing links. We got it going on again. That's right, man. That's right. YouTube is politically motivated now. I don't know, my numbers just say that the transmission is horrible right now, but it's up at least. And then last night we got phone calls from Chris Quaglin, Tony Mastaduno, David Geetson, James Grant, and Jeff Sable at the end, man. So we got all good phone calls last night. And right before the end of the night, Sherry got up and read something that she had from one of the J6ers. An anonymous J6er wrote a prayer out. And Sherry read it, and man, it was just potent. God, you are everything, and we got to never forget that. And 1791, Stormtrooper made a short out of that prayer that Sherry read. And if you want to check that out, go to 1791 Stormtroopers channel and check it out. It's like a little 3-minute prayer. It's beautiful, man, beautiful. These guys are in prison for standing up for their freedom, something that 10 years ago never would have happened unless there was this illegitimate regime in the White House. And man, now I'm all rattled, man. Everything went haywire. Now I'm all rattled. But yeah, go to 1791 and check that out. It's a great, 3-minute video. All right, and then we got word also that we haven't heard from Taylor Jonatakis for the last 2 nights. And apparently he got sentenced to 87 months in prison, plus 3 years probation. And we've been hearing a lot from Taylor Jonatakis at the Freedom Corner. And you can hear that this guy is an outstanding patriot. He's an outstanding Christian. He went to Brazil for missionary work. He's got 5 children. And every night, he's just, all he wants is that for his country to succeed and be good. And this Department of Justice just sentenced him to 87 months in prison for whatever it is that he did. I don't know. There's no dead police officers out there. Nobody lost a limb. And whatever it is, it just isn't worth 87 months in prison. These outrageous sentences that we've been getting. Gatario, 22 years in prison. And it goes on and on. That This just can't stand, America. And then when we get new people in the chat that aren't familiar with this, they are floored by it. And that's our duty. That's our job, Patriots. We know what's going on. We've been tapped into this for 600 days. We got to be able to tell people what is going on here, and just bring them in so that they can stand with us and stand against their governments. We've been calling Congress over and over for 3.5 years about this. Nothing's getting done. And this isn't something that Trump is just going to come in and go presto and it's all going to go away. You know, there is no abracadabra involved with this right now. So our duty is to spread this message out to people that aren't familiar with it. Tell them why they need to care. Tell them why this is important for our country. In the meantime, the mainstream media is saying that democracy is under a threat, that Donald Trump is an enemy of democracy, and that Trump, people who voted for Trump, are an enemy to this, that democracy is on the line in this next election coming up. We don't even know if this next election is secured yet. The last election that we had in 2022, there was fraud all over the place in that election too. And in 2020, it's outrageous. We can't even vote our way out of this thing. So we got to make the other our fellow Americans understand that there is a massive problem in this country right now. And the way that we normally get out of it is to vote our way out of it. And that's not going to work this time until we know that those votes are secured. We have Democrats and Republicans have told us that mail-in voting is fraudulent. So many countries in the world have outlawed mail-in voting because it is so ripe for fraud. It is so easy to rig. And then we have Democrats and Republicans telling us how the electronic machines that we've introduced into our voting system in the last 20 or 30 years are also susceptible to being hacked. And we just got to make our fellow Americans aware that this is a threat to our whole country. It's not just a threat to democracy. It's a threat to law and order. It's a threat to freedoms. It's a threat to everything. It's a threat to our way of life that we know that we've lived with for all our lives here. It isn't just democracy that's under a threat, man. We are a republic, but democracy is the system of people voting in representatives into the country, into our government, you know. And I don't like getting all caught up in the democracy republic thing. It is a republic, yes. Pledge allegiance to the Republic of the United States of America. And that is how it works. We elect people that then have votes in our Congress, in the Capitol. And once you're inside that Capitol, it is a democracy, okay? That's like a sideshow. To argue about that is a sideshow. All right, Tina, thanks for joining us. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Sylvia. This is the link for Sherry reading that prayer off from Freedom Corner last night. And that was just an anonymous J6er that sent that to Sherry. And it's a really good prayer, really good, something to hear. And that's what Freedom Corner is there for, to get that message out. This is what our J6ers are going through. This is what good American patriots are going through. And in the meantime, we got the borders wide open. I mean, everything's coming apart at the seams. And now is the time that we got to stand up against all this right now. We are surrounded, patriots. All right, but in the meantime, we also believe in Christ. We also believe in God and the atoning blood of our Savior that rescues us from annihilation, basically. We just got to rest assured in that they've been studying how to destroy the human mind for a long time. And one of those ways is to continually attack you with fear, over and over and over again. There was just a guy on Tucker Carlson, fear all the time. That's the same every day. They have to change the fear on a regular basis so that you don't expect what to fear next. And all of a sudden a new fear comes up, like a bridge comes down in Baltimore. It's going to interrupt our commerce on the whole East Coast here. Or the border's wide open. Or we can't get gas anymore. Or we can't, they just got to continually hammer us with these fears. Russia, if we don't save Ukraine, Russia's going to annihilate Ukraine. Israel, Hamas, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, it's just one fear after another that we're getting hammered with. I can't even remember the fear from 2 weeks ago, it just changes so often. Okay, so and now we got these judges. All right, so Reggie Walton is the judge that went on CNN the other day. I was talking to you about this yesterday. And I mean, if you just seen a video footage of this guy, he's got like weird twitches with his eyes, how he blinks and stuff. This guy, he's a judge. He's supposed to rule fairly, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. He is supposed to put all that aside and judge the cases that are before him, yet he is not doing that. And then we also have this U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Catelli. And this was on American Patriot News this morning, man. And she's out there saying, she's stepping away from her bench and going on news shows and saying, unless democracy is protected, it will be destroyed. And then while she's sentencing people, she just sentenced a guy named Clifford Mackerel, 23-year-old dude, to 27 months in prison. And while she was sentencing this guy, she mentioned insurrection like 10 times while she's sentencing this guy. Now, mind you, no J6er has ever been charged with insurrection yet. Yet here, if you're sitting there and your judge is giving your sentence down and she says the word insurrection, in her head, she thinks you're an insurrectionist even though you haven't been charged with insurrection. And she just keeps mentioning it over and over and over again. And then going on TV shows telling us that democracy must be protected or it'll be destroyed. That's what the J6ers were there in D.C. doing. They were protecting democracy. The insanity of it is crazy, man. Okay, here we got a prominent attorney files complaint against radical D.C. Judge Walton, who criticized Trump, man. All right, that's Reggie Walton right there. This guy's in charge of J6 juries or trials, and he's a nut, man. He's a crazy guy. This guy's been a judge for 40 years. This is like another old guy that needs to just retire and go into political activism or something, because what he's doing right now isn't judging cases fairly, man. So that's good. That's good an attorney has finally filed something against him. When he went on CNN like 3 or 4 nights ago, that was crazy, man. Okay, here's something on tonight. On Glenn Beck's YouTube channel, Prepping 101, what you need to do. All right, we've been talking about that off and on too. We just got to be ready, because the only reason they let us all have internet is because they're going to take it away at some point and try to crush us with it. Another like life-threatening crisis that they're going to lay on us over. It just keeps going on and on. Okay, Trump goes after a judge's daughter, but here we have a judge. This is the judge in the Stormy Daniels case there, Greg Kelly, the hush money trial, which is a bogus charge and everything in the first place. With this attorney that was dating Stormy Daniels, it's bullshit charges, Greg. And then here this judge, his daughter, is the president of a Democratic campaign operation that has gotten millions of dollars from Democrats. Adam Schiff and Democrat leaders that are already in office, and this judge's wife worked on New York Attorney General Letitia James's worked for the Attorney General. And now you're going to tell me that this judge, whose daughter is the head of a Democrat campaign operation, whose wife worked for the Democrat Attorney General's office, is going to give Trump a fair trial? I think that's absurd, Greg. That is absurd. And these judges need to know when to recuse themselves, and then to put a gag order on Trump so that he can't even talk about it is just doubly absurd. How can he even state a conflict that could happen here? So this guy wants to put like double gag orders on Trump. I just think it's impossible for Trump. This is more political weaponization of our Department of Justice, man. She's not above the law because of being his daughter, right? Yeah, Pert, look into it, man. Trump didn't have any idea that any of that money changed hands. I forget, what's that, Michael Cohen? Michael Cohen's the guy who did that. Michael Cohen was working for Trump and paid that woman off and put it into the books, man. He was a mole. He was sent to do that, to smear Trump's finances and stuff. And it ain't illegal to pay somebody off anyways. Yeah. So what we're seeing here is a weaponization of the justice system, all right? It's supposed to be for law and order. And what they're doing is they're targeting Trump voters, basically, because we brought up the fact that we think the election was rigged, because we're pointing out all the corruption that's happening all around the place. And it should be fairly obvious. I don't understand how people can't see it. Pert, not sure what you're saying there. And then they tried to claim presidential immunity even though he wasn't president yet at the time. Not sure what you're saying there. So yeah, all of a sudden we got judges stepping out from behind the bench and making political statements and stuff. In addition to just lambasting Trump with charges, trying to drain his money out, so he doesn't have money to run an election. He's in the middle of an election. He's leading in the election, and the current president is orchestrating all these charges all over the place. The attorneys from Georgia came to the White House, visited several times, and for a couple of days, and they're corrupt, but nobody, we can't say anything about that either. Jesse Waters is reporting multi-million-dollar perks for Judge Mercham's family for taking Trump to court. I mean, where does this corruption end? It just goes on and on and on, man. Yeah, Jerry, our necks are on the block right now, man. I mean, I know I'm up there. They're going after the J6ers. They're going to go arrest almost 2,000 more is the plan right now. It's going to overload the court system in D.C. This is a common strategy called the Cloward-Piven strategy. It's a Democrat playbook. You crash the system so that you can just pick up the pieces and build back better. So what's been built back better? Nothing. The whole thing's been falling apart ever since the guy who says build back better got in office, man. So all these Trump charges are, it's just a weaponization of the justice system, man. If Trump was, and then furthermore, if all these charges were valid against Trump, why didn't they bring them up 3 years ago? okay? Why did they let them float for 3 years and then wait for right before the election to start charging them with all this stuff? Another indicator that this is politically motivated hits in the justice system with them. All right, we got a Jack Smith issues a veiled threat to Judge Cannon over her jury instructions in Trump classified documents case. Jack Smith, I mean, look into that guy. He tried to go after the Virginia governor and took it all the way up to he won in all the lower courts and took it all the way up to the Supreme Court and got beat 9-0 in the Supreme Court. So I gotta believe that there are corrupt courts. These judges are politically motivated hitmen. And if we don't got law and order, man, we got nothing. We got nothing. And that's just one issue about Jack Smith when he went after the Virginia governor. Right. So in the meantime, Jerry, they're doing that to tie up the judicial system so they don't have to have all the illegals go to court. So in the meantime, we got all these actual criminals that are running free, committing murders, committing rapes, committing crimes all over the place. We got hit and run thugs that are just taking everything off the shelves in stores and running out. You're not even allowed to go chase after them. You're not even allowed to go try to grab your stuff back if you own this store. Look at what's happened to us here. The whole thing's absurd, man. If some guy comes in and steals like 3 trash bags worth of stuff off your store shelves and you shoot him, you're going to go to jail. I mean, that didn't happen 30 years ago. You were allowed to shoot the guy because he's stealing from you. And then why do we let Soros run around in this country then, Cleo? How come the government hasn't done anything about that? We just had another murder, a gal named Ruby Garcia. Another innocent was killed by an illegal that was let out of jail, that was deported and then allowed to come back in. I mean, this guy was here illegally. He broke the law several times. They let him go numerous times until he committed a murder. He killed somebody's daughter, Ruby Garcia, man. That's an atrocity, man. And that is what the law and order system is here to do. It's here to penalize people that do that. You can't just go killing people. I didn't even know Soros was a citizen here, Cleo. All right, and then we got RFK Jr. He's out there saying that FJB is the biggest threat to democracy that there is right now. Trump's not the threat to democracy. FJB is. That's what RFK is saying. FJB denied him Secret Service protection while he's running for president. They did some other shady stuff with RFK too. They wouldn't let him run as a Democrat. I mean, RFK Jr.'s been a Democrat all his life. His dad, his uncle, they were all Democrats. And then they wouldn't even let him run as a Democrat. They wouldn't even have a primary because then RFK would have to debate FJB. And we know how that's going to go. Okay, 4 more pro-lifers convicted by the Biden regime for praying and singing hymns outside an abortion clinic in Tennessee. So the J6ers aren't the only ones. This is and then we got this going on with the abortion people. It's harsh, man. Our country doesn't even resemble what it used to be 5 years ago. And it is on a crash and burn course of action, and we, the people, are the ones that are going to have to stand up and fix this, man. Well, RFK is calling for no more drilling and no fracking. Yeah, he is. But he's running for president. So we'll vote in. If we had elections, we'd be able to vote in what we want. Why can't we drill oil? Everybody else in the world drills for oil, all right? The fracking issue, yeah, it's an issue here. Yeah, we'll see if RFK Jr. does split the Democrat votes. That's why they didn't want him in there. But if they didn't want him in there, why didn't they didn't they have a primary? And then FJB could just eliminate him in the primary, then he wouldn't be in the election. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But with all this fear, I don't know if you guys heard my whole fear tangent there. They've been studying human psychology for a long time. Fear will make you go insane. And they can't use the same fear tactic over and over on you. They have to create new fears all the time. So that's what's going on. It's a new, I can't even remember the fear from a week or two ago, right? Oh my goodness. After draining the strategic petroleum reserve to the lowest level in 40 years. Trump had that all topped off, by the way, because he got the price of oil, fuel down, and it was our strategic reserve was topped off. Now Biden cancels plan to refill it because oil is way too expensive because we got to buy our oil from Venezuela. This is the insanity we're dealing with, man. Here's the link for that article on Gateway Pundit. I think the country's gone mad, and the people who know it's gone mad and we know what we need to do to fix it, the rest of the people just don't even care. They think everything's going to be just okay. That Trump will get elected or whoever will get elected, then everything will be all right. Then they'll fix it. But that's not how it works, Patriots. We got to be involved with this. We got to be involved. Okay, there was another huge earthquake in Taiwan. I don't know what's going on there, but it was like a 7.5 earthquake. And now we're getting into the scriptures, okay? Yeah, I don't know what this has to do with anything. Why Biden White House directs NASA to establish a standard time zone for the moon. What does that have to do with anything? The borders, we got 9 million new immigrants, and then they want to, this is what their priority is, man. And their priority is transgender visibility days and all these like, the way it works is everybody's the same in this country. You can't isolate and select one group to get more privileges than the other ones, you know? So, I would be crazy. I would be insane by now if it wasn't for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ holding my shit together, man. There's all the prophecies that we got in the Bible. We know this is going to happen. We know that the whole world will be deceived right at the end times. We know that the turmoil is about to come. We know that the devil knows that his time is short and that he's going to be run rampant to and fro throughout the world to see who he can trip up. Yeah, an earthquake's bound to happen there too, right? NASA launched 3 rockets during the solar eclipse, project named after the Egyptian god of darkness and chaos. They're right in our faces with this stuff, man. I mean, when you go down to D.C., look at the architecture. It's all pagan, you know, it's anti-God stuff, so... Yeah. And that's if you believe all the whole space thing there, Greg. There were reasons they did the whole space program. It's just to drain our wallets and give us more stuff to be scared about, that's for sure. New York prisons will place inmates on lockdown during the solar eclipse. So something's brewing about this solar eclipse thing. They're going to fire CERN, the Hadron Collider, up on the same day. We got the National Guard getting deployed. We got schools canceling. We got governors claiming states of emergency ahead of time. You know that the governors get special powers because we told them if it's an emergency, you can have special powers. And just heads up for April 8th. It may just come and go like Y2K. I don't know if everyone remembers Y2K, when the end of the world is going to happen because the computers won't work, man. So yeah, every NASA space, they use Greek gods' names and stuff. So when you read the scriptures, you know this is going to be happening. You know that the whole world will be deceived. You know that the Antichrist is going to come, declare himself God here on earth. And in the meantime, we got the World Economic Forum saying that they're going to implant chips into your brains and you will become immortal, you know. So it's here. It's here, Patriots. But yet in the scriptures, there is countless stories about God saving his people. So have faith in the one true God and his plan of salvation. Accept it, believe it, learn it, live it. And we're protected. The whole thing's going to cave in. 10,000 are going to die at your left hand, 1,000 at your right, and you're good. Illegal aliens on the moon. Hey, Tammy Monday. Yeah, we're having quite a day here with technical glitches and everything. But once again, another form of wickedness just displayed in Taylor John Atakis' sentence in Judge Kelly's trial going on for the dad and son, the McCains. Bike racks for security around the most important capital in the world, attack with a deadly traffic cone, making political statements from the bench, saying insurrection 10 times during a sentencing, even though no J6er has been charged with it. I mean, it's just absolutely insanity. And it's not meant to make any sense. It's meant to make you go crazy. And if you don't have God and if you don't have any idea of what's about to happen in this world or what's going to happen soon in this world eventually, it will send you off the deep end and turn you into a zombie. We got vaccine injured people all over the place. I lost a sister to it. There's lots of people having health issues now. There's another bird flu that comes out of cows now or something that I'm hearing about. Just sit back, read your Bible, pray to God, and know that you're going to be protected because you believe in the one true God. And let the other people get through that. That's their journey, man. We went through our journey. We had to be brought to our knees in order till we understood it. And that's just part of the program. I think you think you're a god until you've just been crushed, and then you realize that you're nothing without God. So I think we'll end it there. Glad I got through this, man. Boy, that was an event. But I think I learned something too, how to shut my phone off in the middle of a stream and then pick the stream back up. That's a small miracle in itself right there. So we'll keep at it, Patriots. We're not going to stop. We're protected. I'm strong. We're going to stand and continue to point our fingers in the face of these tyrants and call them tyrants. And then sooner or later, hopefully more people will wake up, and then we the people will be able to do something about it. Non-violently. But they are trying to whoop us up into violence, and we got to resist it. We will not become the wicked to fight the wicked. That's what they're trying to do, man. Hey, Carrie, yeah, we've had trouble here today. But we're going to wrap it up now, Patriots. I'll see you at the Freedom Corner tonight. Hopefully, we'll probably get an update on the Taylor John Attack sentencing today, because I think that just happened. And I'm sure they're going to have the canopies up tonight. There's probably more rain in store. But you know what? All these days of rain, it's April showers, bring May flowers. It happens every year. I'm glad everybody in Ohio made it through all those storms that was freaking us all out there the other day. Everybody's safe, man. We have a good God. God loves us. We love God. We're good, man. So, Patriots, we'll see you up there at Freedom Corner. This is Jericho. Over and out.